Hello everyone. So in the last video we talked about how we could download an image from the web, which is cool. Now we're going to work with another type of file that is often used in stuff like finance, banking and things like that. We can use it to obtain financial information. uh, it's called a CSV file, comma separated value file, and we'll see what that's going to look like. But for now, like, just notice our import is a little bit different this time. We'll cover why we have to write it like this later, but just use this for now. It's because we're working with this different type of data file. So how can I get a CSV file? Well, we go on some stock website like Yahoo, uh, finance.yahoo, look up, your favorite stock. So I'm going to pick Activision Blizzard because they make Call of Duty and World of Warcraft. The new expansion just came out. They should be making lots of money. Look at that going up. They're doing pretty good. So, I want to analyze their stocks and stuff. So I'm going to go to their historical data, and it presents all this information. But I can't do anything with this information right now. I can't, I would have to just type it up in an Excel sheet or something, which sounds awful. So what I'm going to do instead is, you could download it, or I'm just going to copy the link address and have Python do most of the work for me. So I'm going to copy that address there. And then we can get started. I'm going to write a function called download stocks. And it's going to take a URL as an argument. And from there, we got to do some stuff. So I'm going to make a variable that is going to, actually open up the file. So I'll call it CSV open, I guess. And we're going to set that equal to request. This request means the Python's going to go to the internet and request that, in this case, the URL be opened, and that URL being the one we're taking from the argument in the function, whatever this ends up being. So, all right. Well, where do we go from there? Well, I'm gonna make a variable that's going to store my actual CVS or CSV. So, this variable is going to represent the actual file itself. And what we're going to do is set that equal to CSV open dot read. So CSV open is the variable that's just literally opening up the website that we linked, and then the CSV variable is just going to store all that information that it's reading from the variable CSV open. Then, in order to print this stuff out or get it formatted nicely, what I'm going to do, because this CSV file, it's going to return a bunch of stuff as a different data type than we normally work with. So I'm just going to convert it to a string. So CSV string for my new variable. All we got to do is write that string function and put CSV in it, and it'll convert all that information in the CSV variable into a string, all that data that we are going to need And now the next step is just a little thing to make it look a little bit nicer. I call this the lines variable. It's just gonna format it a little bit better. So what we're gonna do is take our CSV string variable and we're gonna use dot split, and the split method, what it's gonna do is put quotes /n, and it's just gonna format it so that it looks a lot more reasonable. It's gonna separate the lines out and everything so that everything's not just printed on one line. The next thing we're gonna have is we are going to, like, we actually need something that is going to like basically something that's going to have like the name of the file we're going to save. So I'm just going to call it name or something, name, and we're going to say the name is equal to, we're going to put an R for, that means raw, and then the raw file, what should we call it? How about active.csv? Make sure it has that file extension. So that's how it's gonna end up being like saved on our program. What else? Then what we're gonna have to do is like actually open up that file. So there's a lot of like things going on. I'm just gonna make some variable x. I don't know. I'm getting a little empty on naming conventions right now. So name and then comma and then we're gonna write it. So if you remember from the video where we wrote files, that's essentially, we're using the writing. We're gonna open up the file named active.csv and we're gonna start writing in it, and then that's what the W is. So then we have for the line in, for line in lines. So what this loop is going to do is just complete the formatting with the spacing and all that. So for each line in the lines variable, that lines variable being the one that has the CSV string file with the split function. And for that, we are going to x.write the write, and then we're going to write a line plus the new line. So it basically, what this is doing is it's gonna make a new file, and this loop is going to take each lines from that CSV file and write it in another file, and it's gonna write a line and then do a new line spacing because of that /n, and then it's gonna write another line and then another space and so on and so on. It's basically going to write every line in that CSV file, and then, when we're done, we just close up that file. Oof. So a lot of stuff, but it's just one way to do it. So I'm going to download. We're going to call this method. I'm going to use, what did I call it? Link. The link that we used above. And let's run this program. It might take a bit since it's sort of doing a bit of stuff. And this website is, Alright. So, we have this new file that appeared. Let's take a look at it, and lo and behold, there it is. Excuse me. So, As we can see, it's got all that information there for us, nicely separated out. Could probably format it a little bit better, but hey, at least now it's in our file, and potentially we can do all sorts of stuff with this information. Do some crazy calculations, analysis, statistical work. But, that's when we get to some more advanced topics. Right now, we're just exploring how to get these sorts of things onto our projects in the first place.